Hello, hello, welcome to Tylo and Eeloo, episode 5. I'm Lorenzo, and today we're trying to go to Tylo and Eeloo, actually. Listen, look, we have the launch windows here. We have 79 days to go before the Tylo launch window comes up, and a bit longer before the Eeloo launch window comes up. Now here we have our temporal mod. We have to wait 28 days before the electronics research finishes, which we want because then we get what do we get? We get this, which is lamps and batteries, and that was quite a blunder because I already had batteries apparently, just not the inline ones. Oh well, we'll forget that. This is now essential, and what I want to try is to squeeze in something like this as well. So we have struts for a slightly. Actually, this is not quite essential for the launch to Eeloo. I want another node unlocked as well, so we can bring more stuff here. Possibly this, so we can bring thermometers, or user guides. Actually, no, I just want more science in general. What I was trying to do is justify the fact that I designed a fallback probe, which is to be launched in case the research development doesn't go well enough. But now I'm thinking that this might just be the actual probe already, because these batteries are not all that obtrusive, and I'm just going to go ahead and build this. The only thing that would really benefit are struts to the boosters, to the central core. But we have an idle VAB anyway, so we're going to build this. We're not even going to bother with testing it, we're just going to build it while... Wait a second, did I just do a monumental mistake? Because we wanted to go to the moon this episode. Oh, can I cancel building this? Yes, scrap it. Yes, I want to scrap the vessel. Because of course what we actually wanted to do this episode is to put a flag on the moon for contracts and science thingies. We have that, the Jeb's Avenger. If you saw last episode, I left the episode with this thing. A lander for whoever is going to avenge Jeb's untimely death on the way to the moon. Look, it has life support over here, batteries, solar panels, and a satellite to leave in lunar orbit, as per our contract stipulations. We will, of course, first build this after a simulation, because this staging separating mechanism that I have here, I'm not quite confident about that. So we're going to simulate that, and if that works, then we're going to also build queue the would-be probe. Yeah, that's not strictly necessary now. Okay, this is a problem immediately. The Separatrons are firing, the boosters are firing, and the engines are all firing. Okay, so that's a staging issue. Should be fixable fairly easily. But what I'm most interested in is to see if we can control this thing with the elevons that I put here, just as I did with the other rocket. Now I was wondering if that was perhaps also because of the SAS module I had, but I think I removed that from here. So that's purely down to these elevons. So these are really nice for in-flight control. They're actually really good at it. I'm loving that. So that's nice. Now we just have to see if we can ditch the boosters safely, which we will do as soon as they run out of boost. We are slightly lower in the atmosphere than we would be on an actual run, because I'm flying weird. Actually, no, this is a fairly okay run. So let's just wait for the boosters to run out. If they then separate, oh, look at that, something is happening. I don't know how that happened. It's just a happiness pirouette. Okay, so this thing is a little bit temperamental, we can say that much. Do the boosters separate? Well, yeah, they do, even without Separatrons, so that's nice. The whole rocket is spiraling out of control. I think we should be able to avoid that if I pay attention to actually flying it. Let's see if the other things will separate cleanly. They don't have Separatrons anymore, so we need to actually slot those Separatrons in. So, what do you want to call it? I say great success. Great success. Revert to editor. We will put the Separatrons in the proper stages and then go ahead and build it. Okay, so these things will run out first, so we need... Oh, these don't even have Separatrons. We need The Separatrons on the liquid boosters, obviously. Alright, that's it. We don't need any more modifications. Save that and let's build it. How long will that take? 12 days. Alright, and then let's also build the backup probe. Then at least the VAB boys have something to do. Do we want to simulate this? Let's do it. Just to see if we didn't do anything stupid. I mean, we do want to have it ready when it's launch day. Ideally, I would want struts from the boosters to the central core, but well, we don't have them, and it will take days and days until we research them. So slightly low thrust to weight. I'm thinking of adding. Oh no, we have elevons. I was thinking of adding elevons to the boosters, but we already have them in the center core here. Control is a lot harder because we obviously have 4 boosters and a non-gimbling engine. But still, we have control, which is more than I would have expected. It's a fairly lightweight probe. It has a materials bay hidden under all these solar panels and 4 goo canisters, and the rest is batteries and solar panels. But that ought to make it to Tylo. If the small solar panels generate any electricity beyond at joules altitude, that's a question mark. I may have to go a little bit slower. We're going hella fast here. This looks to be under control. What we want to know is whether the boosters, when they separate, if they're going to knock out the engine from under me. If so, we may have to add some separatrons. Control is very hard, but it does seem to be stable. I'm saying that now, but now we are sort of drifting. But we are also ascending very hard. This is a fairly violent launch with these 4 boosters. When they were full it was quite okay, but now we're pulling lots and lots of G's. But we are going in the right direction. And the cost of failure isn't that high because we have a probe but not a human. I could build 2 of these even. So let's separate those. That goes well because we're in near vacuum already. And the probe is well on its way. I think this counts as a success. And we don't want to do that from here. We want to use this button. Build it. Will be added upon simulation completion. So yeah, stop the simulation please. And that's now added to the build list. So now we go to the Space Center screen where we will fast forward lots of days. First we will have the launch pad reconditioning. That's now fixed. I don't know what decides how long that takes. It's not always the same. Let's see, how are we in the contracts? Oh, what? All the active, all the many contracts vanished. Well, that's fine. We're still working on this. Do they have like expiry dates? That would be a problem. Deadline 9 years. Deadline 9 years. Okay, that's fine. Launchpad is now reconditioned. Come on, and now we're gonna build Jeb's Avenger. Well done. 7 days. Right, let's see. Will we get to launch in the day? Probably, because we need to roll it out as well. So who would be Jeb's Avenger? Do we want to send a pilot, and a scientist, or an engineer? I'm thinking let's try and send a pilot because we'll be landing. So alright, let's roll that out. That will take a day, a whole friggin' day, man. And I want to launch in the daytime, which I think we will. Hurrah. 66 days until launch day now. Well, at least we have a vessel that we're fairly confident can swing by Tylo, so that's good. That means that before it's time to actually get there, we want to upgrade this for this one. I want to upgrade this twice for maneuver nodes. At least I think maneuver nodes happen here. Flight, we need this and that. I think we can afford that now. Can we do that now? We can upgrade this. Boom, wow, that's nice and big. Unowned objects tracking, nice. That's asteroids, I think. And if we get this, boom, now we can flight plan. I think that's maneuver nodes. That's nice. Alright, let's launch Jeb's Avenger. Not with Bill, we are going with Nielsen Kerman. Didn't we have two? Oh, we do have two pilots. No, Jorbrat. Launch it. Okay, this is going to be interesting. What did we see this vessel in simulation? It disintegrated, but now we have Jorbrat at the helm. Should be a lot better. Full throttle. Launching. SAS on. At least that means that Jorbrat is trying to control the ascent. Slight tilt over. Is the moon like in the right position? Doesn't matter. We can circle. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can make this happen without happiness pirouettes and disintegrations. Soon as we are through the hairy phase of the ascent, I will cut out the video to keep the episode at a manageable length, and we'll reconvene when when something happens that's milestone worthy. First things first though, let's get through max Q and then off the planet. Well, we are already off the planet, but let's get through max Q and the sound barrier. Sound barrier has been breached, that's good. Now I think I'm eyeballing that we are not at max Q yet. Max Q incidentally is the point where there is the highest amount of aerodynamic forces on the rocket. So mostly that's in the beginning phases of the flight, where you're going really fast and are still in the thick bits of the atmosphere. Because afterwards you'll be going faster, but the atmosphere is thinner, and before that the atmosphere is thicker, but you're going slower. So it's somewhere in the first minute, 2 minutes I think. At least in Kerbal Space Program is like in the first 30 seconds. It's done and passed now, because we're at 25 kilometers and the air is really thin. Let's jettison the boosters. Is the center engine running? It is running, that's good. Alright, now it's looking good. We have 3 columns of fire that are propelling us skyward. We're at 37 kilometers. Our current pitch over is 45 degrees. Speed 1300 meters per second. We need to get that up to 2200, which should be fine. Did we include a transfer stage in this? No, it's this, and then we are immediately on lander power. I wonder if we brought enough delta V, actually thinking about it, but I think we did. We are almost in orbit already after all. Jorbrat is feeling happy. We didn't bring any science equipment on this mission. This is purely flag planting. Nothing else going on. Alright, let's have a look at the map view. Oh, we're really high already. Let's stop thrusting then. We should be spotting the moon any second over the horizon. We can just use the old trick. Oh, we can time warp to Apoapsis. That's nice new features. I hadn't seen those before. That's cool. But we are not going to use any of that flight planning fancy dancy stuff. We are just going to time warp forward a smidgen until we crest the horizon. Let's have a look at our life support. We have 34 days. That should be enough to... Oh, this is a Nexus 1. I was gonna think, what the hell, 608? No, we have 34 days of life support. That should be enough. There is the moon. That means we are going to orient ourselves horizontally and punch it until we are as expected to reach it. And now we should see patched conics until when we are slated to actually encounter its sphere of influence. So here we go. I think we will be able to reach the moon on the center core, and then we're on lander power only. We may not have enough fuel, but then Jorbrat will just live on the moon or make a mad dash attempt to get home. One of the two. Cool, so that's those gone. Let's separate these stages. Separatrons doing their job. I think this is the first space debris we've left behind. Because those are not going to fall back, for sure. Alright, that's the third piece of space debris. There we go. Now this engine will do all the rest. I hope it actually will. Right, let's have a look at our trajectory. I wonder if this will be enough. I'm always overestimating how much delta V I need for a moon mission. So I think this will suffice. But still, it's scary to be on lander fuel already while still within 200 kilometers of Kerbin. Alright, here we go. Stop, stop, stop. It's still a bit jiggly. Let's just keep going until this number becomes small. It's not now. Alright. Now we're going to use these fancy buttons where we will warp to sphere of influence chains. Margin is 3 centimeters. That's not a lot. So let's do that. It's going by 100 only. Then it's not that useful. And now it's going faster. Alright. This is a wonderful feature. I love that. Or maybe it's Kerbal Alarm Clock feature. I think it's a Kerbal Alarm Clock feature because this has it as well. Cool. Here we are. Our guy survived. We have life support. Electricity is enough for a day, even if the sun goes away. That's good. Now we have to look at... I think this is not going to work. Because it says launch a new unmanned probe that has power and an antenna, and we did that, although we also have a man on board. I did make sure that to have the probe core be the primary thing, but I'm not sure if you can combine these contracts. If you can't, I'll be a little bit disappointed, because it would be nice to have that combining possible, but I also appreciate the need to... What the hell? Oh, this is the target orbit. Wow, that's all nicely visualized. Cool. Let's do that. Let's turn retrograde and fire the engine. Now remember, this satellite here is a extra objective, and our main objective is to, of course, plant a flag on the surface. Get a surface sample and return that as well. Now we are braking. This number should increase. It is increasing. Good. We are braking, and we will match periapsis here, and then match it on the other side. Release the satellite, and then make a judgment call to see if we have enough fuel for landing. If I have more than half, I'm going to estimate that we have enough. Yeah. Should have a lot more than half by that point. Otherwise we'll be in trouble. We may not have enough for a landing. We will have enough for a landing, but we may not have enough for a return trip. Oh god, this is actually quite exciting. Alright, cutting the engine. This is 228 and this is 208. How's our margin? What's this? Alright, well let's reduce that further then. 208. Oh, here's a problem. We are going in the wrong direction. I think. Yeah, we're going in the wrong direction for this probe. Alright. At least I can only assume that these circling dots mean that. Okay then, our orbit is wrong. That means that I'm going to jettison the probe now. So that we can use it ourselves for transmitting science data from around the moon if we should be so requested. Let's separate that then. Then we can just focus on the landing. And let's actually fire these separatrons to get some distance. Can we not control it? Control from here. Come on. Why can we not control these rockets? I wish to control this probe. There we go. That looks good actually. Is this now landing? Oh. Whoops. Those separatrons were more powerful than I thought. This has now become an impactor. Alright, we'll leave it at that. That was a big failure. Fortunately, that's just the satellite. Suppose I made it a little bit too lightweight, eh? Our sun is over there. We want to land on the daylit side, of course. So here we have it. Now at our periapsis, which won't quite be daylit yet, we can make a braking pass and then select a nice area to land here. So let's warp to that point. This is a nice feature, I like that. That's the satellite crashing. That was a monumentally failed mission. I suppose we will just have to have this as a dedicated mission to clean up the contracts. That's a bit of a pity, but well, I did do it. We have a big saucer over here now. Oh, this is the life support stuff. Well, it's alright. I want that saucer. Alright. Reducing speed. Now I am more confident that we'll make it. That's good. Establishing a low orbit over the sunlit side. I want to land here. Looking good. It's not even an orbit anymore, but we are... yeah, we are sure to be in the daylit side when action needs to be taken. This is slightly dangerous because if I warp too far now, then I won't be able to stop before slamming into the ground. And as I can see everything nicely now, let's warp a little bit further. So we are now at about 20 kilometers altitude, and I don't want to end up in the crater just like our probe did. We want to explore novel ground. Let's punch it and slow down some. I'm aiming parallel to the horizon so that I'm only reducing horizontal speed. The vertical speed is still very low, or at least relatively low, so I don't want to be reducing that yet. I want to do that as close to the ground as possible for maximum efficiency. Because even though I'm still confident that we have the fuel to do everything we want, I'm not confident it's a super wide margin. So, there's that. Life support still good, didn't spring a leak or anything. Okay, let's cut the engine for now. This is now our approach vector. Seems decent for a lander. Let's deploy the landing legs just so we don't forget. As I said before, I am completely confident that we have enough fuel for the landing. And screw it, this thing is light. There's only fuel that weighs something. We also have enough fuel to get home. If not, I will personally apologize to Jorbret Kerbin's family. This is, after all, a big training mission. He will be the first Kerbal to ever set foot on an alien world. Unless the corpse of Jebediah landed foot first. But let's not think about that, shall we? It's a depressing thought. Cool. Done this a million times, but it remains exciting. I don't know if that says something about me or the game, but here we go. Slowing down a little bit more. Not sure that was needed. The craft's thrust to weight is actually quite fine. Wait, does this mean I accidentally deployed the parachutes? Remind me to repackage them as soon as we are on the surface. I think I screwed them. Or maybe it happened when, yeah, they're not deployed yet. I think that happened when we separated the, well, let's just call it an impactor. That must have shuffled up the staging. Let's do another braking burn. 100 meters per second seems a safe speed that's easy to recover from. 130, also good. Approaching this cratered landscape. I wish I could do this in real life. Even with a robot probe that I could control from my home or something, that would be awesome. Here we go. I've said here we go like a million times, but I want to not mess this up because I want to focus on Tylo and Eeloo, and we kind of need the science points and the funds to get there. I may have to do some more braking because we are close to the ground, I think. Go for 50 meters per second now. We're almost vertical, that's good. There, 30. Another full burn. That's 17. 17 I think is still a deadly speed to hit at. There's our shadow. I thought we saw a shadow. Yeah, there it is. We're at 10 now. 10 is bounceable. 5, 7. I'm just gonna leave the engine on now. Here we are, almost there. We're about a fifth of the fuel remaining. That should be enough. We need about 700 to 800 meters per second of delta V to get to Kerbin from the surface. And I think we have that. I also think we're gonna fall over. No, 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 come on, work that little reaction wheel. Go on, yes. Well done, well done. Stick it. Whew. We're there. Well done, Jorbrat. Okay, how are we on electricity? We have all the electricity in the world. So let's radio home. Crew report from the Midlands. Radio that home, please. Oh, that's nice. We didn't bring an antenna. Doesn't matter, because we are going to go home anyway. Holy smokes. That's a somersault if ever I saw one. Alright. No! No, 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 no. Oh my god. This is a problem. Jorbrat somersaulted off the ship. And now the ship is on its side. And even worse, I think he may be unable to access the hatch. First though, let's finish the mission. Plant the flag. All is not lost. If we can roll the ship somehow, get inside, use the landing legs to bounce up and then just fly off. Help. We could make it, but success is now absolutely not guaranteed. EVA report. Yeah, keep it. Review, what does it say? Dramatic appointment. Yeah, no. Open inventory. Can we take a sample? I don't think we can do that yet. We can store the experiments. Can we board? Crew hatch? Come on. Okay, I'm gonna try and push. If we hit the wheel here. If we scrap the part, then we don't have life support. But we have like for a few hours life support. We could possibly get back. Can we scrap it? No, because he's a... Oh no. Can we lower the legs? First we can take another EVA sample. Because why not? How's his jet fuel? Is still good. Okay, crisis management. Can we like undeploy this? Raise legs. We can, but nothing seems to happen. Or did there? Did something happen? Okay, we raise these. Oh, come on. Something horrible is occurring. Both inside my computer and somewhere else. If only we had a radio, we could radio for help. Let's see. Maybe if we take like a running start. Oh, come on, that did something. Oh, oh dear. Oh dear. It turned over. Stop now. Okay, recap. What did we do? We did the flag. Vessel complete, that's not interesting. We did the flag, we have science. Can we take a surface sample? We can't do that. I absolutely don't trust that bounce, but it did happen. Alright, let's see if we can get back inside. Now, if we light the engine, we're almost sure to die. So let's see if we can raise the legs now. We have to like sort of use the legs to jump and then light the engine and then escape. Here we go, come on. If only we had RCS thrusters. Maybe if we raise both legs at once. I mean, we can roll and then jump. And come on, use the reaction wheel. Yeah, this is good. If we can roll it so the legs point down the hill, then there's at least a slightly higher chance that we may make it. Alright, at least now we are pointing up. Alright, stop it, stop it. Now we lower the legs. And if we now start firing the engine, if we do this, then nothing happens, nothing nice happens. Okay, the plan is as follows. We will push the gyros to turn us up like this. This we can do. We light the engine very, very softly, and as soon as we have a positive angle, we light it fully. Chances of death are high. Are we pointing in a direction that we want to be going at? We want to be going in a 90-degree heading. Well, we can turn around as soon as we're close to a 270-degree heading. That's also fine. Then we need to circle around and then leave. Yeah, we're gonna go for a 270-degree heading. Okay, ready? Ready, Freddy? Here we go. Engine on a little bit. Come on, engine on a little bit. Stop it, stop it, stop it. That didn't work at all. But it does work to give us a little bit of speed. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Alright, let's try that again. Stop it. Didn't work. Okay, gears on. Maybe that will work for a jump. Come on, jump. Oh. Could we maybe try to have Jorbreath stand outside and raise it up? I don't think that would work. God damn it. We've launched from here. Everything went wrong. I suppose I have to go and apologize to Jorbreath's family in person now. We did have the flag. The flag says help. We did do that. Darn it! That was a pity. Ah, for God's sake, I thought for a second there we were just gonna do something. But no. No, no, no. Some debris is left. Which parts did survive? Here's the flag. The landing legs, of course, they survived. Damn it. I think if I had 4 landing legs, I'm gonna pack 4 landing legs on my ships now, because I think if it had 4, it could have worked. But now it didn't. Alright, well, that's that. Let's go to the space center. We did our flag thing though. That's something. We can test maybe because we still have the contract. We have this contract. Oh, we lost some reputation as well, obviously. We have this contract to do the satellite for lots of science. We can go and do that. It's really boring though. We have maneuver nodes now. We can rescue a guy from Kerbin orbit. Visual surveys of the moon. Also nice. EVA report on the surface at 2 places and 3 places in orbit. This is nice. But I think we ought to focus on our Eeloo mission now, because that's almost up. Or I mean our Tylo mission now. That's almost up. Let's warp to the completion of the launch pad reconditioning. We'll focus on nothing else. backup probe takes 3 days. We could commission another moon mission to try and explore those areas. What's our technology progress? Electrics. And after that we want that gives us a lot of science. It should be a fairly easy mission. We can use the backup probe for, although it is a bit overkill. No, we can make a much cheaper probe. Let's put together a cheap probe to put around the moon. So even if we retain control over it, we will even have a little bit of use out of that, which will be nice. Alright, 4 of these. Damn it, I'm bummed out by the failure of that mission. That should have worked. The ship shouldn't have fallen over. And I hope not many people in real life have ever had to say that. The ship shouldn't have fallen over. God damn it. Okay, lots of canisters. So we can send back data on request. Some antennae, and the rest is really a rocket. So a small upper stage as always. We'll call this the commercial line. And we will have to see that it gets to the moon and in orbit around the moon. Not really a tall order. That at least we're good at. Take the elevons, I'm a fan of those. And of course a Kerbal engineering system. Apologies, and let's add some boosters just because otherwise the upper stage, which is with its low thrust to weight, will have to do a lot of the work, which isn't very nice. Not very considerate at all. Is this? I don't think this is on the decoupler. There, now it is. Move them up slightly because I want to rest on the nozzle, not on the solid booster. Not sure why I want that, but I want that. Alright, first the engines, then drop the boosters, then the probe engine. 6.7 meters per second should be plenty, and of course shouldn't forget to throttle this back because otherwise, oh my god, we'll explode. Cool, commercial line saved, and let's build it. And I think that will conclude the episode for today. So next up in episode 6 is launching a commercial satellite. Not the most exciting bit, and we could... I think we're gonna rescue a Kerbal, just because we haven't done so before. Or we're gonna do this, or this. Now we're gonna do the visual surveys of the moon, because my god does that give a lot of science. That's just a good reason. I think what we are going to do for this is establish like a 150 kilometer orbit, or 101, or even lower, like a 51. We're going to take a very hefty ship with lots of delta V that will do all the flying surveys, and then we're going to send a small lander that will do the landing, and the lander is going to be bigger. It's going to have more than one core. I don't want it falling over. And for that we're going to need fuel lines. Let's accept this contract anyway, because I'm now feeling it. We want fuel lines for that. We probably need to research in this direction, which we will do as soon as electrics finishes. Cool, that's that. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Good night. Enjoy your day in life and subscribe. Bye.